was ridiculously outnumbered. The searchlight could even the odds. I was ridiculously outnumbered. The searchlight could even the odds. I was ridiculously outnumbered. The searchlight could even the odds. I was ridiculously outnumbered. The searchlight could even the odds.
Enough. You will go no further. Stop now. last chance to take. Don't worry about the noise. We're safe here. I have looked after the well-lit room for many, many years now. There is no shadow in the well-lit room. The hour is fail-safe, and all the bulbs are numbered and changed regularly based on their make and model.
Right.
There's an old army base at Raincoat Point, Northland. It was active during the Second World War. They operated here back then. They must have built this.
Yes, they did. It's my place now. Take it, and I won't need to worry about the room anymore, because 6 and 33 and 118 need changing soon, and I don't want to climb up the ladder to change them because it's very late, and I'm tired. And if you take it, I won't have to do that anymore.
The page was autobiographical, a memory from my childhood. But I didn't write this. It was a page written by Thomas Zane. None of them were supposed to exist anymore.
Alan, 7 years old, would fight sleep to the bitter end. When he did sleep, he soon woke up, screaming, the nightmares fresh in his mind. One evening, his mother, sitting by his bed, offered him an old light switch. She called it the clicker, and flicking the switch would turn on a magical light that would drive the beast away. To imbue the talisman with all possible power, she added that it had been given to her by Alan's father. Alan never knew him, and anything of his took on mythical proportions in his mind. With the clicker firmly in his hand, Alan finally slept like a baby. Now, almost 30 years later, Alan thought of this as he stood on the rim of Cauldron Lake, the clicker in his hand. He took a deep breath and jumped.
My mind swirled. I'd given the clicker to Alice, yet it was here. Zane had written it into existence, in a story I had written. I can get to her now. I can finish this.
Remember standing on a broken field, white crippled wings beating the sky, the harbingers of war with their nature revealed, and our chances flowing by. If I can let the mail.
Previously on Alan Wake. I wrote a horror story that has come true. Thomas Zane did the same in the 70s.
You will go. No further.
If I continue like the Dark Presence wants me to, the story I'm writing won't save Alice. It's a horror story. No one will survive.
You knew Zane! Thomas Zane! You're the Lady of the Light in the song!
He left something behind to help me. The clicker.
Alan thought of this as he stood on the rim of
I had a hangover. My head was about to explode and the light hurt my eyes. I needed my sunglasses and painkillers to dull the pain. In one of my finer moments of self-deception, I swore to quit drinking.
So Alan Wake comes from New York City. And for years, he was writing crime stories set in New York City.
Sunglasses made the world look bearable.
We have a couple of
Now I
these
could keep my eyes
flashbacks
open when I
to
feel
New
like a
York,
vampire
and
inside
that's how
me.
New York is present in Alan Wake. I love New York. I love it as an idea. Actually, like, you know,
Girls were
writing
fast. The
the Max
prospect of being
Payne
awake
games
started
that
to
were
seem
also
bearable
set
again.
in New York. I had never visited New York in my life. Everything kind of inspiration for it came from pop culture, from movies mainly. So to me, it's this archetype of a fictional city.
There was a message waiting for me on the machine.
have one new message.
Al! Are you still asleep? Wakey, wakey! You should have your show on your TiVo. If Alice wasn't too mad to record it. Yeah, she called me earlier and really chewed me out. Yeah, we went a little overboard last night. But parties are a part of this business. Al, look, I'm saying this as your friend. She's not doing your career any favors by trying to run your life like that, okay? I'll talk to you later, Al. Watch the show.
I'd been a guest on the talk show the previous night, talking about my latest book. The show was supposed to be waiting for me on our TiVo.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Harry Dalit Show.
Thank you everybody. We have a great show tonight. I've been talking with the best-selling author Alan Wake about his new book, The Sudden Stop. Yeah, good read. Go buy it. No, it is a good read. Look, I'm gonna be honest here.
Is that wise?
No, but I'm gonna do it anyway. I got people who give me the lowdown on books. I'm a busy guy. But this one, I actually read from cover to cover. I mean,
Hey, honey.
I'm a big fan.
Did you watch the show?
Wow, thanks.
I didn't say anything
No,
stupid
this
if that's
might
what
be
you
a
want to know.
spoiler for those who haven't read
Okay,
the book
Grumpy.
yet. Based
You
on
want an
sales
aspirin or
figures,
something?
the
Are you
two
gonna start with me about
very
drinking now?
much yet.
You know what? Go back to sleep,
But
Alan.
this last book,
What? Now you can't even talk to me?
Well, this morning I was angry because you said you'd be home at midnight and you showed up at 7 a.m. and passed out in mid-sentence. Now I'm over it. Are you angry?
This goddamn tour. It's gotten out of hand.
Oh, honey. It's almost over, right? We can get back to normal. Then you can start writing again.
I'm sorry, honey.
Alan, you're not thinking straight. Just take a shower and go back to bed, huh?
Yeah, you're right, honey. I'm sorry. Once this is over, let's go away together. A vacation. Just you and me. Some peace and quiet. Somehow, the clicker was the key to the cabin. I had to return to Cauldron Lake to save Alice. I'm going back to the lake to finish this. I'm going to write an ending to the story in the manuscript on my own terms, to make it all right.
Why can't you just write it here?
The last page is still in the typewriter. I need to read it first. Everything needs to be just right. Zane tried to cut some corners, and it didn't end well.
Okay, ready when you are.
I'm sorry, Sarah, but I need to do this alone. Barry, take her gun. Miss Weaver, close the door when I leave.
Good luck, Al.
See you later. When I got out, it was warm and sunny. I'd flicked the switch of the clicker. Had it done this? I didn't stop to question it. I had to take advantage of the sunlight to get to the lake. On Zane's page, I'd stood on the rim of Cauldron Lake, about to use the clicker. That's where I was headed. Alone, in daylight, surrounded by the beauty of the Pacific Northwest landscape. It was hard not to let doubt creep in one last time. I could still chalk everything up to a dream, a delusion. I had enough imagination to make up something like this, having been in the cabin all this time, trapped in a story inside my head, gone mad from grief over Alice's death like Hartman had claimed. There would be no way of knowing.
Still talking about New York, you know, as this inspiring, almost like a magical place, is that obviously now, with Control, we are back in New York once again. And I honestly wouldn't be surprised if down the line we would have more games set there. But this idea of not having visited New York while writing Max Payne games is kind of a thing overall. Like to this day, I have never been in Washington State wilderness, in any of the small towns. Yes, I've been to Seattle multiple times, but not to actual locations that have inspired Alan Wake.
There was a link between us, always would be. I could feel its presence again, getting closer.
I will kill your wife.
So I feel that there are many different ways of doing research for writing. And it, sometimes, obviously, it's great to visit the location where the story is set. But I don't feel that that's necessarily something that you need to do. Or in some cases, it can even start to kind of mean that the story you want to tell ends up not working because you know too much about this location. In our stories, the inspiration comes from popular culture more than anything.